This global trap wasn't built overnight, it was constructed piece by piece over the last 150 years, accelerating violently in two specific historical waves. We didn't always live like this. For thousands of years, humans had no choice but to live off grid. But the system we are fighting today was built through a very specific timeline, the construction of the trap, a timeline. Wave 1, the Industrial Revolution, late 1800s to 1950s. This is when humanity traded the farm for the factory. The 1880s, brands we still see today, like Coca-Cola and Nestle, were born. They originally sold their products as tonics and nervous system restoratives to help exhausted factory workers endure long, brutal shifts. The 1920s. Industrial milling technology figured out how to strip the germ and bran out of whole wheat to make white flour. For the first time in human history, food could sit on a shelf indefinitely without rotting. They traded the nutrients for shelf life. The 1940s and 50s, the post boom. The military needed highly stable, chemical packed rations to ship the soldiers overseas. When the war ended, food corporations took that wartime chemistry, freeze drying, synthetic preservatives, trans fats, and marketed it to regular families as modern convenience foods. This gave us the TV dinner, Cheese Whiz, and the explosion of fast food chains like McDonald's. Wave 2, the high fructose and high tech hijack, 1970s to present. This is when the system shifted from just preserving food to actively engineering addiction. The 1970s, government subsidies for corn exploded. Scientists figured out how to mass produce high fructose corn syrup. It was dirt cheap, and corporations began pumping it into everything: bread, pasta sauce, yogurt, and soda. The 1980s, the tobacco takeover. This is the kicker. In the 1980s, the world's biggest tobacco corporations, like Philip Morris, bought up the world's biggest food corporations, like General Foods and Kraft. Tobacco executives took the exact same chemical, psychological, and hyper targeted marketing tricks they used to hook people on cigarettes and applied them to processed food and sugary drinks targeted at children. The 2000s to now, tech giants perfected the loop. Silicon Valley hired behavioral psychologists to design smartphone apps and algorithms using variable reward schedules, the exact same psychological trick used by slot machines to keep your eyes locked on a screen, spiking your cortisol and anxiety 24/7. The result: it took about 150 years to replace natural human biology with a corporate infrastructure. We went from eating from the earth to eating out of a laboratory, and we went from looking at the horizon to looking at a glass rectangle. So, when you talk about stepping away for 3 days or 3 months, you are literally undoing a century and a half of industrial programming. You are forcing your body to go back to the factory settings it ran on for thousands of years before the corporations took over.